How you guys doing? Savage River Recovery back at another video. So trolling at its best, guys. Trolling at its best. Whoever was over in the Jessica X live stream, that was hilarious. I really triggered that lady. I triggered the shit out of that lady. How are my savages doing tonight? So I think it's hilarious that I think it's hilarious that delusional women talk trash about men, or they talk trash about white men or black men, and then when they get trolled, they just don't have the skin. Like they just can't deal. They just can't deal with it. Like really got under these women's skin. Now, the delusion that these women have about being sugar babies is hilarious. It's hilarious at the end of the day that these women think that being a sugar baby is going to work out for them, because high value men are the men that have options. So you're not going to be able, you're not like majority of women that are around or that are sugar babies are not going to be able to lock down those men. Like there are some that do that. Salute. How's everybody doing? So I know that most of the people that are over here probably weren't over in Jessica X's live stream. So I just want everyone to know that this really is to talk about what was going on in her live stream, because I was trolling the shit out of the women in that chat, and it was hilarious. I just want everyone to know. That at the end of the day, white men are the ultimate trolls. We are literally the trolls on top. Like we are the top trolls. We troll harder than anybody else. So if you guys ever see me in a live stream in a chat, don't talk shit, because I am going to troll the fuck out of you. I'm going to troll so hard. But how's everybody doing tonight? Hey, Ash, what are you doing? No, bro, come on. Calm down. How are you guys doing? So we were just in a live stream, and the live stream was about sugar babies. And the women these days are really delusional when it comes to being a sugar baby. So if you're getting pumped and dumped by men, you're effectively being used. You're effectively being used. But if you're a sugar baby, you're getting paid to be used. Like that's what it is. And most of the time, if a man is paying you money for sex, hey, if you're a sugar mommy, listen, you got the bread, I got the D. I'm just putting that out there. But at the end of the day, if a man's paying you for sex, he's not, 9 times out of 10, he's not going to wife you up. He's not going to put a ring. Like, he's not going to put a ring on it. That's just what it is. When you're doing, like, if you're like, men understand maybe a cock string. So when men take you out on a date, or they buy you dinner or anything like that, they expect that they're going to spend money. Yeah, Joker. I was trolling the shit out of those women. Oh man, guys, listen. If you guys were in that chat, I spent like $50 in that chat. Yeah. So I spent Oh, what's up, Nay Songs? It's been a long time. Oh shit, how you doing? How you doing, Nay Songs? Here, this Nay Songs. We've had, me and you've had our issues. We've had our issues. I'm gonna give you, I'm gonna give you the StreamYard if you want to jump up here. You don't have to cam up or nothing, and we can get your side of the story and my side of the story when it comes to this topic. But at the end of I spent $50 on that live stream on trolling. So I really am for sure about my trolling, guys. I just want you guys to know that. But if 9 times out of 10, if a man is paying you for sex directly, like if he's paying you the money for convenience of not having to take you out, not having to necessarily do anything, but just have sex with you, at that point it's a transaction. And he's like, there's not many reasons for them to want to marry you. That's not that's just the nature of man. Just like when you go to a strip club, whenever you give a woman money at a strip club, like the saying is, if you want to take a woman home from the strip club, you don't give her money, because once money's exchanged, you become a trick. Yeah, those fives do add up. They definitely do. But, listen, guys, sometimes you got to pay to play. And I wanted to troll like a motherfucker. And it really made me feel good about life. That $40, $50 made my whole week, being able to get under the skin of women. But it's nice to see you here, Nay Songs. You probably have already left because I don't see you in the chat no more. But I'm going to drop the StreamYard for anyone that wants to come up here and give me your view on this or prove me wrong. But at the end of the day, for most girls that become sugar babies, it's not going to pan out to anything. Now, if you're able to get a stack of money and you're able to have the mindset to invest that money into a business or into school or into a house, if you're able to plan on taking the money that you gain and saving it and then putting it towards something, then you can have something that's further in life and make something out of it. But a lot of the time when women are sugar babies, they're spending their money on having fun or having material objects like clothes, makeup, vacations. When you do that stuff, you're going to hit the wall. You're going to hit the wall. And eventually you're not going to be able to be pulling those same type of men anymore. Or if you are, you're not going to be able to get the same amount of resources out of a man. So at the end of the day, you're going to have a Gucci bag, or you're going to have a Prada purse, or you're going to have some shoes that are years old that you probably aren't going to want to wear anymore. And you're not going to be you're going to be ran through. You're not going to be as valuable as you were 10 years ago or 5 years ago. So it's going to make it harder. You're going to be spending more time alone. And the real thing that you want, you're not going to be able to get. At the end of the day, if you look at the statistics on the amount of women that are being prescribed prescription medication for depression, it's like 40% of women in their 40s to 60s are on antidepressants. That's just the truth. At the end of the day, as much as women don't want a man, like they have this mindset that they don't need a man or they don't want a man, men and women's purposes are are each other. It's a lot easier for a man not to have a woman and be able to not be depressed, because we have the ability to create stuff and have the ability to build. Women really aren't made to build stuff. There are women that do build stuff, but most women don't. Yes, that was a great live stream. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like, that was probably like C trolling right there. Like, that wasn't my top shelf trolling, but you get under a woman's skin you get under a woman's skin when they, well, I get under a woman's skin when they tell me I look like MGK. Like, I'm older than MGK, and I live in Cleveland. I'm a year older than MGK, so actually he looks like me. He looks like me. And I actually have a photo on my Facebook back in the day before he got his hairline fixed that we look alike. Our hairline is pretty much the same until he had surgery. Machine Gun Kelly is MGK. He's a rapper from Cleveland, Ohio, which is where I'm from. Like, yeah, Machine Gun Kelly. Like, I'll have to post the picture. Like, once I get 1,000 subscribers and I can post stuff on my community page, I'll post a picture of me and MGK that looks pretty damn close. Yes, that is MGK. He came for Slim Shady. Thank you, New. I appreciate it. Yes, he did play Tommy Lee. But I don't know if you guys seen it, but she said that the only man she needs is Jesus. I asked her if she meant the white Jesus. Oh man, God, trolling at its best. But I'll show you a picture. Like, here, let me, Ash, get out of my lap. Let me go on Facebook and get this picture. I'll get this picture and I'll post it up. Because I have a picture of me and him side by side. Do. Okay, so let me save this picture because I'm not about to dox myself like that with y'all because I already know people be coming at my neck as it is. So we not about to play that. Yeah, I was definitely raising hell. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was definitely in that chat trolling like a motherfucker. Now let's get this photo up. Now, mind you, this photo of me is definitely old. This is a few years old. So I do not dress like this anymore. I've grown up as a man. Come on. Load this fucking picture. Okay. So here, we're going to share this screen. So as you can see right here, his hairline is receding. This was him back in 2006. You can see that his face is skinny from all the drugs he was doing. All right. This is back when I still acted like a thug, as you can see by the chain. And you can see the hoodie that has no long sleeves. All right. But side by side, before I had face tats, We look similar. We look similar, okay? And I am older than MGK. I am older than him. He was born in 90. I was born in 89. So, yeah. But this picture of me is when I newly got sober. And I'd only been sober for like a year, so I was still. Yeah, we do favor one another. And as you can see, his hairline is fucking receding. If I go and show you another picture of him, I'll go get a picture of MGK. So give me a second. This is a video, so I have to carefully. Okay, so it's not the actual video. Okay, so here's a picture. Here's MGK, as you can see right here, with him having a hat on, him being young. All right. I'm going to stop sharing the screen until he takes off his hat and you see his hairline. Because I'm not getting struck for his music. All right, so here's a picture of him at later. The photo I showed you before. So you can see right here, you can see his hairline and see how far back his hairline is. Now, the light is this picture is definitely blown out, but you can clearly see that he's got a big gap of hair missing right here. And he's thinning on this side. So, like I was saying, back in the day, yes, I used to listen to MGK. Back in the day, we looked quite similar. Now that I'm getting older, I don't look the same. And also, he got his hair fixed, and he's had work done because he has money like that. But for those that was in that stream over at Jessica X's, what do you guys think about the? So when I'm in, so okay, so the most common thing that's said to me is I look like a drug addict. I'm white. I'm a honky. I'm a cracker. I'm a wigger. Pretty much anytime that I'm on YouTube and I'm in some sort of, like, most of the people that I watch are black, a lot of black content creators. Anytime that I'm in their channel, in their chats or on their streams, I get pretty much, they bring up my race. Like, that's, at the end of the day, that's pretty much what's said about me. Well, because I'm white, so they assume I'm a drug addict because I used to be a drug addict. But what's up, Smooth? What's up? So I'm going to drop this link. Anyone that wants to come up here, is more than welcome. Nay Songs, if you're still down here, I would love to hear your take on this because, I'll be very polite to you. I'm not gonna cuss you out or call you out your name. I can be a gentleman. I won't troll you, but I would like to hear your take on this topic, because our views are opposites. We are on two separate sides of the coin on this. But I'm putting on my headphones on in case you all come up here so I can hear what the hell you're saying. What's up, Smooth?
Yo, Whitey McWhite, you ain't got nothing to do here in the manosphere. Get out.
Dude, that stream, bro, was crazy. Like, I trolled so hard.
I know. Man, you were trolling hard with the super chats, though, bro. You were like, as a white man, we do not want you. Did you see how triggered she was, yo?
Yes.
She had to come back and address you. She like, why the white boy not want me?
When she got up there and said that shit about the only man she needs is Jesus, I asked her if it was white Jesus.
Oh yeah, you said white Jesus, right? Yo, I don't need MGK looking white man. I got me a white man. His name is Jesus.
Jesus.
Yo, that was nuts, bro. No, that was nuts, man.
Listen, people don't realize white people are like we take trolling to a whole new level. Look at our president, bro. Like, the best troll ever. The best troll ever is the president. So, like,
facts. Only one that ever had a Twitter and was tweeting actively.
Fucking tweeting at people, talking shit to them.
Exactly.
Yeah, calling motherfuckers out, calling people in the Senate out.
Big time, man. Tweeting shit about them on social media. Like, what the fuck?
That's why I like Trump. But what do you feel about this sugar baby thing? What is your take on it?
Well, sugar babies, man. I can't speak much on them because I ain't got none. I'm not that old. But I mean, hey, let them do their thing. You know what I'm saying? If that's what they want to do, you know what I'm saying? Let them do it. You know, the old men. I've had uncles that were, you know, sugar daddies and shit. They are still sugar daddies, I think, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? It's really just a mutual exchange, you know?
See, I don't have a problem. I have no problem with a woman wanting to be a sugar baby. I don't have a problem with a woman being a hooker. I don't care if a woman is not even an escort. She can be a streetwalker getting picked up by random cars for $40. I don't care. But at the same time, know your fucking place. Like, don't be out here on the corner sucking D's for $20, $40 and then turn around and tell me now that you've been ran through by random dudes and caught the clap and herpes in your mouth that now you want me to pay fucking showroom floor prices with marriage.
For a lifetime. At least until you die.
Yeah. Or until, you know, you slowly poison me to death.
Poison, exactly. On some Shira 7 shit, right?
Yeah. And listen, I'm going to tell you right now, if going to that putting sleeping pills in a motherfucker's food. So, like, these women are like, oh, well, you know, I don't have to have sex and I think it's okay to manipulate men. Okay. So, question. If they think it's okay to manipulate men, do they think it's okay for men just to whoop their ass and take it? I bet not.
I bet not.
I bet not.
Hell.
Don't put yourself in that position.
Yo, Savage, the crazy thing was these bitches was up there actually admitting proudly. Like, yeah, like I think it's okay to manipulate men out of their money and shit. Like, I'm like, yo, like, could you at least pretend like you're like you're not serious? It was crazy. You know? And you know what else, man? Like, and I'm sure you follow like in the last 2 weeks on Jessica's streams, right? Like, you've noticed that we had the Chrissy click come up, and now we've had the Shira 7 click come up. And both results from that fan base that they got over there. I mean, we don't really have to say shit anymore. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say.
Oh, I get what you're trying to say.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like, they've clearly shown you had a chick that literally, when she cammed up, I saw the shirt. It was the same shirt she had on the channel when dudes was telling me to look up that Deanna Joseph chick. I looked up, one of the first videos was a video in that shirt, and she cammed up, and I'm like, bruh, is she serious? She said she was like you, Savage.
Listen, bro. Like, at the end of the day, a lot of the women, like, obviously I don't know these two women that, like, I've only seen some of their footage. I don't know them super well. Obviously, they probably have decent sized followings, so I'm assuming not every person that follows them is crazy or delusional. I'm sure there are some decent women in there that are not delusional, but they're still on bullshit because they're following those ideas. But
actually, you're right. You're right about that, because one of them actually came up for the Shira 7 chick. Just want to add that real quick. Remember the one that came up, said that she was married now and something like that. She left the relationship because she felt she was too masculine, something like that. Remember?
Yeah, but like, let's be honest, bro. That, like, we both know that there are red flags all up in that broad. Like, at the end of the day, bro, we date women. Like, we see the red flags. Like we are so used to these women trying to run game on us that, like, that's why I think it's funny that this whole, like, lying and manipulating men, that shit only works on dudes that, like, simp ass dudes. It doesn't work on normal, like, dudes that aren't fucking blue pilled. It don't work on me. Like,
it does not at all.
If I start talking to you and every time I talk to you, you end up telling me about how you're fucked up with money, I stop talking to you, because, like, all you're doing is trying to imply something to get me to want to simp for you. I ain't doing all that.
Exactly.
I'm not doing that.
Exactly.
Like,
but
if I
finish your point, though, you were going to say something. Sorry, I interjected with the whole chick that called.
Oh, you're fine, man.
Oh, okay.
But it just goes to show you that these women, the best ones are not, like, obviously that one, there were red flags, but she wasn't crazy delusional, but the rest of the crazy ones are not, like, they're not showing the best foot for the person they follow, like,
at all.
Yeah, like, these YouTubers are their best ones aren't, like, out there trying to hooray her or show, like, you're wrong about her, but, like, it's the crazy ones that just make her look worse.
You know what's crazy, Savage? I actually am familiar with Shira 7 even from back in 2015, but back then I knew her because I'm heavy, like, into magic and all that stuff, and she was actually a magic chick. Well, that's what she was doing a lot, like talking about spells and all that stuff. So it's kind of crazy how she came from that, and now we see a fan base, a bunch of crazies on the panel and shit.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, bro.
Yeah.
Anytime a woman talks about magic, that's a no-go. That's a no-go, my dude. That's a no go. Like, bro, I'm telling you right now, if a chick tells me, like, okay, I was a Satanist when I was 19. I was a practicing Satanist, and I was banging. So two things: gang banging is low level save worshiping. Two, if a broad tells me that she does, like, she's into astrology or she's into fucking like any sort of magic shit, I cut that shit quick. Because when you do spells, bro, how much magic have you done?
Not a lot, but some that has worked in my favor. I'm a mini magician.
Okay, so are you when you mean magician, do you mean magician like tricks, or do you mean magician like voodoo?
Like voodoo.
Okay, so when you do that shit, you're actually summoning spirits, and
Absolutely.
women especially they're portals, so they accept things in easier than men do. So it is not hard for a woman to become attached to a dark entity, and that entity you can get from having sex with her. You can have that. So like most broads do witchcraft on a low level, not knowing it.
Yeah.
But the ones
Absolutely.
that do it and know they're doing it, bro, that is all bad. Like all bad.
Yeah, it's all bad if like it would be all bad for somebody like me, straight up. Unless you know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I just see that as too much of headache. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Because
even if you know what you're doing, have you ever heard the expression how you can always tell what a bomb maker is? You can always tell who a bomb maker is. Have you ever heard that expression?
no.
So if you watch any movie that has to do with the army and terrorism and anything like that, bomb makers they've always been bit by their bomb. There's all like if you're gonna be doing bombs, you're gonna fuck up at some point and you're gonna get bit by it. You're gonna get a fucked up hand, you're gonna get scars on your face, you're gonna get bit by the bomb. Same thing with that. You're gonna get bit by that shit. It doesn't matter how good you are. It does like when you're fucking with dark entities and magic, it's all bad. Like, for example, when I was 19 and I was practicing as a Satanist, I had to do a blood pact and a blood ritual to sell my soul. After I sold my soul, any time that I would light candles, which candles are very prominent in rituals, the candles would dance. They would dance and they would spark. They would shoot sparks out. Anytime that I walked into a room that had candles in it, they would automatically start doing that. They did not act like normal candles. And that was because I had dark entities attached to me. And also people that practice magic like that and people that have dark entities on them, they end up getting the problem of multiple personalities and having becoming schizophrenic. Like mental illness becomes worse and worse over time the more and more magic you do.
Oh yeah, and I'm familiar with that. But yeah, there are certain things that you do to avoid that. But yeah, it's a very dark and complex.
There's no way to avoid it. There's no way, because the only way to get more power and magic is you have to summon spirits, and you have to take on the spirits and allow them to work through you as a vessel to become more powerful in magic. So there's really there's no way. It's like putting on your Sunday clothes and running from your stairway on your patio to your car in the mud. You're not going to make it to your car running without getting mud on you. It doesn't matter how carefree you are running. It doesn't matter if you jump and fucking jump from one foot to the next foot trying to miss puddles, you're going to get mud on you. Sometimes it's going to be a lot. Sometimes it might be very little.
It might
but
be
you're still
little.
going to need to change your clothes.
Mm-hmm. I hear what you say. I hear what you're saying, and we could delve deeper into it, but we gonna stay on topic. But we should definitely have a stream dedicated to that though. I ain't gonna lie. I want to hear more of your experiences.
So, like a lot of these women don't realize that the exchange for money for sex is like sex is used also as a ritual. Sex magic is super
Absolutely.
strong.
Oh my man. Exactly. Go ahead.
And a lot of these women don't realize that by them having like the whole idea of like a lot of women don't realize that they have sex with people and they end up getting dark entities that are attached to them, and dark entities will drain your energy and make you depressed and make you psychotic. So like having sex with multiple partners as a woman, you are predisposed to be able to take stuff in. You are literally the portal from the spiritual realm to the physical realm. So it's not hard for these women to get these fucked up mindsets from having sex with a bunch of random dudes. It's not.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something I've always learned about sex and women, the fact that having multiple partners, not only physically but also mentally fucks you up because you're taking in so many different personalities. And if that kind of chick happens to have a boyfriend, well, you can imagine who she's dumping it out on. It's crazy. But yeah, still, man, like it's just it was astonishing, damn near, to me to see like and also what makes it scary is that some of them were like 20 years old. You understand me? I remember the Chrissy chick, she had one that was 18. I'm like, bruh, chicks out here getting indoctrinated early, son. And it's always by for some reason, it's always by the older ones.
Do you know why?
Always 35 and up for some reason.
Do you know why it's older women that do that?
Go ahead.
Because women compete with each other. The reason women wear makeup is women are trying to look better than the woman next to them. It's not so much for men. Like if you ever hang out with a chick will be wearing fucking sweatpants and a t-shirt and be having her hair in a ponytail, chilling with you in the house. But when you guys go to leave, that's when she'll get dressed and she'll put makeup on. It's not for you when you're in the apartment next to her feeling on her booty. It's when she has to go out into the public. It's not for her trying to get another man because she's got you. So the only people left are other women.
Yeah, so, facts.
So at the end of the day, like older women are telling other women bad advice because that's their competition. It's like if me and you were going to a job interview and I told you, did they send you a text about our interview tomorrow? Oh, no. Well, they texted me and told me to tell you that we're supposed to be there at 9, but the interview's at 8. You show up late.
Yeah.
I win. I beat you because you're late. Why would you hire the guy that's late? Well, these women, these younger women are being thirsty and manipulative and doing all the bad qualities that men don't want. And it makes them less desirable. And these older women, because any time that you date an older woman, because I've dated older women, they'll tell you, I'm not on that little girl shit.
Yeah.
You haven't dated a real woman.
Yeah, you're dating a real woman now. I'm not like these little girls that you're used to. Always this little girl, grown woman shit. Oh, hell yeah.
They're the same women that will tell the younger girls, Oh, he won't do that. You need to leave his ass. Oh, he ain't giving you no money. He ain't paying your bills. You don't need that broke man. You need to get you a real man.
Yeah.
A real man will take care of you. But then that same lady, when she is with a dude that age, she's trying to suck his balls through his penis and cooking him a hot meal and giving him a hot fucking drink, a warm towel after they have sex. Like she's doing all the extra shit.
I'm just laughing because it's true. Like,
It is. You fucking
Yeah.
you fucking girl in her 20s. She's like, I'm not really. I tried butt sex like one time and it hurt. I'm not really into that. You fuck a 42-year-old. She's fucking going ass to mouth and making you a sandwich, giving you some cold drink and wiping you down with a towel. Like
yeah,
immediately.
yeah.
Like
Skilled.
completely the opposite of what the young girl's doing. Who's giving
Yeah.
all the advice to these young girls?
Yo, facts. And you know what's crazy? Now that you say this, Savage, from like most of the women that I, like dealt with, it's always the older ones that really treated me like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like I'm a man, yo. Look at her rubbing my feet. Look at her doing this. Look at her doing that. You know what I'm saying? I damn near, no, like real talk. Like I was a teenager. I felt like I was fucking 25, 28 years old. I was like, yo, I'm a grown man in this bitch. I was fucking 17. And she was like, what, 30? She was 35. Nigga. Yo, she was 35, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, bro, when I was 23, I was fucking she was like 42. When I was 16, I was fucking with the 18-year-old. When I was like, I've always, for the most part, dated women older than me.
Older than you, okay.
Always. Like,
Okay.
Unfortunately, my son's mom is younger than me, but for the most part, like, I've had a few girlfriends that are younger than me, but most of them have been older than me. Like the last chick that I was seeing was like 42. I'm 32.
Oh,
Like,
wow. Oh, so you
yeah.
like older women?
Yeah, I have mommy issues like a motherfucker. So, but
Okay.
at the end of the day, those women are they're the one. You hungry? Have you ate?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But your girl,
like facts.
26.
You understand that whole Go ahead.
Can you pack my lunch for me? No, motherfucker. You pack your own lunch. Okay, well, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yo, bro. Yeah, man. Like you said, suck his balls. And all that.
Like literally trying to suck a golf ball through a garden hose. Like they
Dude,
really
go-
like
Facts.
trying super hard.
Yeah.
But
Damn, bro.
Dude, those women know they've hit the wall. Like those women are 35, 36. Like I'm 32, so a girl that's 35, she's really not good. Like she sees us as equals because we're pretty much the same age.
Same, yeah.
But if I'm dating a 40-year-old or a 42-year-old, she's literally going to try hard as shit because she knows me being 32, I'm able to have girls from my age to her age and
To
girls
her age. Exactly.
like
That's a whole 10 years worth of pussy that you have options to.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? And that's even when you're saying 32 to 42. We ain't even talking about anything that's younger than 32. 32 to legal, of course. You know? That's nuts, bro.
Yeah. And like those are the like at the end of the day, these young girls don't realize, and like they're so programmed by the media, their friends, their moms, their slutty aunts. Like they're so indoctrinated with not listening to a man that like when you like I'll give you a perfect example. So I dated this girl from the time I was 19 till I was like 26. It was like 7 years. Me and her were together the whole time that I was a drug dealer, the whole time that I was using, until after I got sober. And when me and her were dating, she's 3 years older than I am. There was a dude that was coming in to her job, and he was like 15 years older than she was. And she's white. The guy that was coming in was black. This is the first time she had ever dated a black dude. But he's flirting with her, telling her, hey, I'm a masseuse. I'm about to open up my own shop here in Cleveland. You should come work with me. You should come roll around, and we should pick out a building that I can open my shop in. And she's telling me about this before, like she told me he said it to her, and she brought it up to me, and I was like, no, you shouldn't do that. She's like, why not? I'm like, because he's trying to fuck you. Like that's what he's trying to do. And she's like, no, I don't feel that. And I'm like, no, he is. So I tell her, you need to stay away from that dude because that dude is just trying to fuck you. So we end up breaking up because she doesn't want to listen. We break up. She starts dating that dude. She dated him for 2 years. All right. That dude started working at the same job she worked at as a cook. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I told you to stay away from him. That he was no good. She started dating, and he didn't want to keep a job. He never ended up opening his own massage parlor or being a masseuse. He was controlling. He ended up being violent with her. Long story short, like I told her and she didn't want to listen. And then since she broke up with him, like she has these boyfriends, and like I'm like, why don't you run these dudes by me? She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, because these dudes tell you bullshit and you fall for it. I'm the only dude that you know that's going to tell you the truth. So why wouldn't you, like, she just started dating this dude. She was dating him for a few months or 8 months or 10 months, and they were living together. And dude ended up being an insecure drunk. And she's like, I don't know why I didn't see it. I was like, well, any dude that you meet that doesn't have a place to live, he just moved from Texas. I was like, I had to move in with my mom, and I was with my mom for 27 days, and then I got my own place. Like any dude that works for himself, that owns a business, should be able to have an apartment within a month. So why did you have an apartment? You have to move in with you.
Wait a minute. So this is your ex-girlfriend? Were y'all still cool like that or something?
Yeah, we're still cool with each other because when we broke up, we got together when we were both fucked up on drugs, and like, so I like all the shittiest things I've done as a person, I did while dating her, and all the shittiest things she's done as a person, she did dating me. So when we got sober, like we grew to be different people. Like we weren't the same people we were when we were dating. So like, okay, we both agreed like it's better if like you go your way and I'll go my way, because we're not even in the same place anymore. And because of that, we're still good friends, because when it comes down to like someone understanding me, it's her. Like I'm 32. I spent almost like a quarter of my life with this broad. And
what is it about these? You know, it's funny how, and this is not to shit on your past or anything, but couples that use together, they are like inseparable, bro. Like I've seen this so many times. Remember, I don't know if I told you. Like, you know, I grew up in Austria, right? Predominantly white country, you know, and Oh, by the way, Sam, did you say some folks have called you skinhead before
Oh yeah, for sure.
in this space? Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That's crazy. I'm sorry to say. I gotta keep it real though, man. Like you do remind me of some folks I had to fight back when I was younger. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
But, well,
I'm
so
sorry, but it's nothing to me though. Like it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, but what you have to understand. So this is how this works. All right.
Mhm.
So I'm white. I have tattoos, and I'm going bald. So it's not hard to understand why people would think that. But like I'm going bald. Like obviously that's not something that I can help.
Oh, you
So
going bald? So you didn't just like shave your head or
no,
anything? Like,
no, like my hairline is up here.
oh shit. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
Like if you look,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I'm looking at it. I'm like zooming
yeah,
in now. Oh,
yeah. It's
dude,
just
my bad.
no, you're good. But I'm just going bald, so it's like I have to have this hair. Like I can't.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
nothing else I
There's
can
nothing you
do.
could do about it.
Yeah,
There's nothing you could do about it. But yeah, anyway, that's besides the point. But yeah, I always found something fascinating. Like couples that would use together, they were together for years. They'll be
well,
together for years, and they're always together, and it's like, and I'm just like, yo, like what the hell? And they go through all kinds. Like, dude would fucking bust her lip wide open, dude. You feel me? Nah,
wait.
it's crazy, fam.
Do you know? Do
Yeah,
you know
go ahead, go ahead.
why we were together for so long?
Why?
Okay, so when you do drugs, drugs automatically make you have emotional feelings. So you think that you're in love with somebody, even though it's you do have feelings for that person, but those feelings are more intensified because you're on drugs. So
Yeah.
then those drugs also make your relationship toxic, okay? But at the same time, you also become in a codependent relationship. So being a man and her being a woman, drugs affect women way harder than they affect men. So like if you see two people that are together and they're
Mhm.
using, I'm gonna bet you 9 out of 10 times that woman is way more addicted to drugs than the man is, because the way that a woman's chemistry works, they just get way more, like the drugs just affect them way harder. Like for
Mm.
like so like when I was waiting for my dope boy for the re-up, if there wasn't
Mm.
enough dope to get me and her through the day, I would give her the dope so she wouldn't be sick. Because if she did her last bit of dope, even though she wasn't getting dope sick, she would start having
Mhm.
panic attacks, because the thought of her not having dope meant she was going to be sick in the future, which meant that she was going to panic now. But me, I would go
Damn.
I'd go to my job and be dope sick and be miserable, but still be at work. Or if I
Mhm.
would wait, I would just lay down and wait till my dude read up and I could go catch the pack. But
Mhm.
she couldn't do that. So it becomes very
Oh.
codependent. Like
Yeah.
me being a dope boy, I had more hustle in me than she did. Like, don't get me wrong, she
Mhm.
hustled, but like she just
Mhm.
couldn't hustle like I could. She couldn't do the things that I could do. Like she ain't
Yeah.
strong arming nobody. She's not.
Cause you a man, dude.
Yeah,
You a
she's
man.
not. She's not ballsy enough to just straight rob somebody. So she had.
Oh,
She got.
yeah.
She got her money with finessing, and there was just more things I could do. And also, people, when you're a criminal and you're a dope fiend, female, women are like, they're easy targets. They're like,
Yeah.
so motherfuckers are always trying to rob her. Like at the end of the day, like during that time, like I beat her ass. She fucked dope boys. Like she went and started stripping. She started hooking. Like
Oh
we did
wow.
all the worst things that you can do to another person in a relationship. We did. Oh, look at this. Hey, we got a guest, Smooth. This is gonna be
Oh,
fun.
all right. Oh
How are you doing?
shit.
How
How
you
you
doing, Courtney?
doing?
I'm doing good.
The actress. Oh, she even cammed up, yo.
I wanna
You
I
cute.
wanna talk.
Damn. Yo,
I
I
wanna
just
talk to you
remember
about something.
Savage. This is
Okay, let me turn this
yo.
off. Okay, hold up for a second. I got the background and I want to say this to you. I don't have anything against you, sir. But what you was saying was basically some things about I shouldn't talk about black men. As a black woman, I raise, give birth to, and I can talk about anything that comes out of my womb. Now, my thing is, black men don't really like white men like that, right? And the first thing
I'm aware.
when something go wrong, the first thing they blame is a white man. So I want to know is why would you sit over there and defend all them black men and Jessica S. Chat when y'all can't even keep white girls in check and they hop on every black dick they see. So y'all got the same problem that we have as black women. And you don't even realize it, right?
No, I do. Okay, so fun fact. My son's mixed. So I have a black son.
Okay.
Second thing, I wasn't saying that you can't talk about black men how you want. My statement was saying that you were talking shit about black men, so we were talking shit to you.
Right.
So like, you can say whatever you want about
you want to know why how that let me tell you how that got started, sir. And you sound like a real nice guy. You now that I feel your presence, you a nice guy. The problem that really happened with that is I have a lot of experience with the manosphere. Most of those guys that were on Jessica S thing was in a manosphere. I've already had bad experiences with them, and I already have said some things that they shouldn't be saying. They have gone out their way to publicly embarrass and humiliate black women. There have been times when black women have been sitting over there in their own platforms, minding their own business, ain't talking about black men, don't care about black men. And it's black women that I see out in public now when I go from state to state. They were other races of men. It's growing now. They were other races of men. They don't even want to be bothered with black men anymore. But they put out this narrative that nobody wants black women. And that is the only problem that I have. So
to be fair with you,
okay.
All right. I date black women and white women and Hispanic women. Pretty much any woman is the type of woman for me. All right. But the issue with it is most black women that I've come across like to be mouthy and they like to be unruly and they like to have an attitude. And I find that to be unattractive in any female.
Right.
And
you want to know? I got to tell you, it is a reason why we are like that more than any other race of women. And the reason why we are like that than any other race of women, we have a very unique group of men that are resting in their feminine behavior. Black men are not masculine like other men. They ain't built no patriarchy. They don't do things. They complain, they promote, they say they say that they don't, black women say we're independent, but they made rap music and everything to say they want independent women. They promote the things they complain about.
Well, to be fair, let's walk this back. Let's do a little history lesson. In the 60s, women kicked the black man out of the home for benefits. No, wait. That is a proven fact that Lyndon B. Johnson stated in order to get welfare benefits in the hood, you had to not have a man in the house. Women made that choice. The second thing of it is, in the 90s, when men were rapping about women being hoes.
Hold on for a second. I'm talking right now. I'll be over back there in a minute. Go ahead.
In the 90s, when black men were rapping about these bitches ain't shit, a lot of those guys grew up seeing women sucking dick for crack in the 80s. Also, a lot of the men that grew up making rap music were taught by women. They were raised by women. And I don't know if you know this, but women call women bitches and hoes more than they say anything else.
I think when Tupac, he said that best. He said that when he was on an interview, he was talking about as well what you just said. He said, well, women know that there's women bitches out here too, and they know there's women hoes out here too. So women know there's bitches and hoes out here as well. So I'm gonna have to agree with you on that.
Another thing you have to realize is the word bitch. So when people say bitches ain't shit, like for me, when I say that bitch, the reason that I say that bitch is because I don't know that woman. I don't know who she is. That is a general term of that bitch, like that woman that I don't know who she is. So I can't say, oh, that lovely female. Like I don't know the person. So it's a general statement. Just like when you say the N word with the A, you're talking in general.
Right.
But when you specifically say something to a person like this woman is a, then that woman is acting like or being a bitch. So a lot of the problem that has these days is, well, one, women don't have to take responsibility or accountability as much as men do, for one.
I agree.
Two, when it comes down to black men and white men, one of the things, like, I know there's a lot of black men in that channel that don't like me. I agree. Black men in the manosphere talk mad shit about white dudes. I know, I see it. I've been part of that shit talk train. But regardless of how they feel, that is propaganda and bullshit that the black community has been regurgitating on each other, and it is what it is.
I really think at this point, because I've been noticing this, and they have this thing when they say black women are more submissive with other races of men per se. And I have seen this for myself in my own personal experience. Black women are. There's just it's a different energy for me. They are the black women that I know that date interracially and that are very successful. They have a higher percentage of the highest rate of success with any interracial dating is black women with white men. Okay, black men, they kind of tend to not get along.
Do you
with
have the numbers for that, Courtney? Do you have the numbers for that?
You can go see it for yourself and just research it. I don't have the numbers right now, but you can see it for yourself and research, because black men don't get along with anybody.
So where did you get it from?
Well, this is what I'm saying. You can look around. When you go around, go look at the UK, go look around the world, go look at all these white women, all these single biracial kids, and no black man in sight. You don't have to have statistics. You can go out and look at it for yourself.
I lived in the UK for 4 years.
Well, they say it's an increase of a lot of that going on in there. It's a lot of when you see the let me say, when you go into the orphanages, or not orphans, whatever you call it, that they give their kids up for adoption. A lot of their biracial kids up for adoption by black men. That they leave these women, single mothers, everywhere they go.
Nah, that's not true. That's not true.
It's true.
That's not how it goes. I just told you I lived in London for 4 years.
Okay,
I went to college out there.
Okay, well, it's around the world. They say the same thing about black men. It's not just in London. It's globally.
That's for no. For you said specifically in the UK and all of that that they give up their kids for adoption in the biracial kids for adoption in orphanages. That is not true. Those biracial kids stay with their single mothers in council flats, which is your equivalent to a project building and stuff, and collect welfare.
Okay, did you hear what you said?
And most times they kick the guy out.
Single mother. But isn't it kind of funny that somebody always kicking y'all out somewhere? Ain't that kind of weird?
Listen, I'm going to be fair.
If the incentive in kicking me out is bigger than me staying in the house, then of course
I'm going to be
you gonna kick me out.
Yeah, well,
go ahead, Savage.
I'm gonna be fair. So my son's mom. So when I met my son's mom, she already had a daughter that was 18 months old. Her baby dad was in prison. She knew that he was committing crimes while she was pregnant. He got arrested and has been in prison since 2 months before his daughter was born. He got 12 years. She had a baby with me. I asked her to marry her. She told me that was a big commitment while she was pregnant. And then she decided, while she was living at my house and not working, I was paying the bills, she decided to get real mouthy with me one day and telling me that when don't I have a problem? And I said, you're right. And I kicked her the fuck out of my house, and we haven't been together ever since. And then she had a baby with another guy who is older than I am. I'm older than she is. He's 20 years older than her, and she doesn't want nothing to do with him. So 3 men, 2 black, 1 white, same idea. And I took my son's mom to court for custody and couldn't get custody of my son. The court gave me 8 hours or 10 hours a week. I put myself on child support. So even if these women, are being screwed over, the court system also is geared in their favor. So even if a guy wants to be part of the kid, he can't really, There was
Okay.
just a video that Mia Torres and Reviews just did of a woman telling her baby daddy that he had to give her $1,000 to see his kid for an hour and a half.
Okay, I agree. Now I can agree with you on that. I can really fairly agree. And the thing about it is, like, I'm gonna say this, and I can't really control nobody else chat. The people that say that I need therapy, it took a lot of guts for me to come on his channel to talk to him, woman and man. So I just think that's very disrespectful for whoever said I need therapy. I was woman enough to come talk to this man and clear up any beef or any problem that I had with him. So that takes a real woman to do that. So I mean, I don't understand where the people in the chat said I needed therapy and I needed help. I don't understand that. I really don't.
Courtney,
Maybe
I know it is always clowned when people say you need therapy and all that. That's a way of people trying to shit on you. But at the same time, if you say you're woman enough to come up on the panel and talk to a brother and all of that stuff, have you ever thought that you may need therapy for something? Because we all need therapy to some extent.
well, personally, I'm in therapy now. And actually, the thing about it is, I have things I'm going through like everybody else. But the way these people talk, like I noticed that when it's a somebody else, the narrative changes. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, it's like it's fine when they're acting a certain way and doing something, but when you do it, it's like it's different. Now you need therapy, but they just got finished doing the same thing.
No,
You see what
no,
I'm saying?
no. Courtney, listen. I came in halfway. No, before you got up on Jessica's panel, and then I got
Right.
off, and then I came back on, and I came in the middle of you going off like, wow. I wasn't even thinking
Right.
she
I
was
was going
playing some
off
kind
on
of.
Jessica X because I have history of Jessica X. Jessica X had problems with the B1 group. Jessica X does a lot of she's not as innocent as she proclaimed. She does a lot of gaslighting. She tries to talk in a certain way, like she try to talk to people like they're somewhat stupid and trying to be condescending at the same time. Because I
No,
know
it's
how to
not.
do.
That's how the British accent just is. When
No,
you hear normal British
I'm not
people
talking about
talk,
the British
they
accent.
sound condescending. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If you went to the UK if you went to London right now and you spoke to your average, well-spoken British person, because they have their version of hood as well. But Jessica, for a Londonerish, and she doesn't sound hood. She just sounds proper, right? If you
Right.
speak to
But
somebody like that, they will always sound condescending.
I have those foreign exchange students that's from there in my college, so I'm around them all the time. They're very proper. Those are like top-notch students at my school, so I'm used to them. I know her tactics. I done been around Jessica X. I know what I'm talking about. I've been
So why
around
did you
London.
come up and apologize?
I come back and apologize because ain't that like, this is what I'm saying. I came back and apologized.
Did you really did you say you was gonna fight her the first time you came up?
Yeah, I did say I was gonna fight her. I was fucking with her. Because I feel like that's what she does a lot too. She does a lot of she was disrespecting some of my friends from my group that I used to be with, like hang out with like that. That they have a B1 group here online, Black First Network. And it was things she'll say, she'll make videos, she'll make remarks toward a guy that I knew that I was cool with. So it's an old beef that I had with Jessica.
Did they attack her first?
No, they did not. She attacked on behalf of the Manosphere.
She attacked on behalf of the Manosphere.
Yes.
So to point something out, a lot of the times when people critique women, they take it as bashing or attacking. But at the end of the day, men need women and women need men. Like
right.
And a lot of the behavior of females is not men don't like it. And there's been a narrative for the last 30 years with women bashing men, black or white, have been bashing men. It's to the point where they're teaching kids about toxic masculinity. So the issue of it is now men have a space and a platform to speak their minds, and women are getting upset about it. Like, don't get me wrong, I was trolling the fuck out of you in the comments. I was trolling
I
the
know
fuck out
you
of
were.
anybody.
I was trying to. I know.
And you
I
were
was-
triggered as fuck, Courtney.
I was triggered because I was all listen, it's like every content creator that's a black female, we already been attacked by the black males on here. I felt like Jessica is what she was doing. The reason why I came at her like that, I felt like the pink pill, Kristen Carrison, nobody brought this chick name up. That's why I came at her like that. I feel like nobody brought her up. I felt like okay, maybe She-Ra 7 might have said something to her. I don't know. But Pink Pill and some of these other cats, they didn't say nothing to her. And I was defending them because I felt like, hey, somebody had to say something to her. So I said, let me go to do it.
To be honest with you, there's a female that was in the chat named Nay Songs. One of my first videos was a reaction to her talking shit about what she was telling women. I have a video on this channel that has to do with the pink pill. It's not against them personally, but the things that they're teaching these women is not good. Like teaching women to level up or to get money out of men and see men as paychecks and that's it doesn't benefit women, because once you hit 30 years old, 35, 40, you're going to be alone.
You know what they get that from? They get that from like with the black athletes when they talk to the white women, how the white women use them for their money and then they move on. They feel like, okay, we as black women, we can't do it other way.
Like if you look at most of the people in the NFL, most celebrities that are black, 75% of them are married to black women.
They don't never show that in the media though. That's
well then why do you believe everything they show you in the media?
Listen, I can Photoshop my
all I'm hearing is talking points. Sorry,
it doesn't mean this. Like women don't need to worry so much about what's going on in the media. Like we're all people. We're all basic people. Like whenever people say, "Oh, well, the white man does this, the white man does that," that's not true, because it's like when you talk about welfare and destroying the black family, that was the elite. That was the Democrats. Like that was 5%, 1% of the population. The athletes in America are 1% of the population. That's like you would not like if some woman that was a celebrity raped and killed a man, and we said, okay, black women are rapists and killers now. They kill men. Don't talk to them. Like that's one woman, 1%. Like if you look at all the women that are divorcing their husbands now, most of them are black, like divorcing black men. Like if you look at Tiger's wife was white. He cheated on her all sorts of ways. You don't see her coming out and making a book, doing interviews about
she moved on. Mm-hmm.
But she's never made a statement publicly. There was just a football player that a woman came out and said that he forced her to have sex with him, and she was married to him, and then a year later came out and said it was a lie. Like when you see these negative stories, it's black women doing black athletes dirty. You hardly ever see white women out here doing false rape allegations against black athletes. You don't see it.
Okay, and that had to bring me back to the Tupac and the situation he had with the black woman that filed him for a rape case. So I see what you're talking about, Savage, but I have to go, and I appreciate having this talk with you. Now I'm glad that we cleared some things up. I appreciate this though. Nice talking to you though.
Nice to talk to you. I wasn't upset, so
okay. I just wanted to clear some things.
Courtney, before you leave, what you said about Tupac, right? Mm-hmm. Take it a step further. That incident with that lady later on resulted in the death of himself and somebody that had nothing to do with that situation.
Oh my God.
At the end of the day.
That is so sad. That was sad. I didn't know that.
Look at that black woman that came out against Busta Rhymes. She came out and said that Busta Rhymes gave her herpes. Like you don't see white women out here doing shit like that. Like don't get me wrong, I'm not saying white women aren't scandalous, because I like they are. But like the narrative that all these level up girls and all these black women on YouTube have a problem with, it's not true. It's not. The problem, the issue with black men dating out is because a lot of the women that are in their community either didn't like them when they weren't shit, or they don't respect them. Like I don't fuck with any woman that don't respect me. I don't care what color they are. Like the issue of it is when you have black people that live with black people in a, like here in Cleveland, there's not a whole bunch of new black people that are coming into Cleveland. So you have the same black people in a small space with black people that have an anti-white sentiment, because most people in the black community have an idea that every white man is racist and out to get them. And then black men make money and they keep dealing with these hood chicks that keep doing hood chick shit. And then these rappers and celebrities and people that make money, where do they move when they get money? They move away from the neighborhood where you can get fucking killed. Any rapper that you've seen get killed in the last 2 years, guess where they die? They die in hood.
Right. Because Nipsey Hussle was one. Yes.
Yeah. So these guys move to white neighborhoods, and then you're mostly around white people. And the white people, like they're white, you're living around white people. How, like, if you moved out the hood, you gonna go back to the hood to get a hood chick?
I can give you a prime example. This is so clear. I went to a mostly black university, and it was so much mess and chaos. I mean, I hate to say it, but when I went to a university where there was predominantly people with different ethnic groups and races, mostly predominantly white, I must say that it was more pleasant. I got along with everybody better. I mean, it was just beautiful, like the chemistry on campus. I must say, when I was around other black people, we kept up a lot of shit. I just gotta say it.
Like, to be honest with you, most white people don't give a fuck. Like, we don't care about anyone's race. Like, there are racist white people, but it's not the majority of white people. It's not.
Right.
Like, those chicks, like the YouTubers have been coming out and doing this is what white chicks think about black men. There are white chicks that won't marry black men. They can't take black men home. They're not attracted to black men. But that's not all. That's not all white women. Like, it's not. Like, fun fact. So my son's mixed. My daughter's white. My sister couldn't have any kids. She's a foster parent. She adopted 4 kids. They're all siblings. The oldest one is black. The youngest 3 are white. Obviously the oldest one is mixed because they all have the same mom. But majority of the people that adopt black children in foster care are white people. Yes. Like, you don't have a bunch of black people adopting black kids. Like, this idea about race is just a way to keep people angry. And once people quit trying to compete with each other, like, a lot of problem with black women, when you hear anyone talk about, people don't like weave, they say, well, white women do it. Well, yeah, if white women jumped off bridges, are you going to be jumping off bridges? No.
Right. My thing is, this is the only problem I think black women have with the weave thing. When they say, oh, you kind of like a white woman. White women are not the only race of women with straight hair. And personally, I think Native American women have the most beautiful hair to me. Like, from what I look at, I would never want white women hair. So it's just that facet of just comparing, saying like we just want straight hair because it's white women. It's just that blank statement right there. That's the problem we have with it.
Also, I want to put another thing out there. So in this, like, a lot of these black content creators talk about how white women are the center of beauty and blah, 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 blah. And the white man took over, and now they made white people the set. Like, listen, if I own a business, all right.
Yeah.
And the majority of people in my neighborhood are my color.
Right.
Who are you going to hire?
People your color. That just that goes what I'm saying.
How many black businesses do you know that have a white person as the face of their business?
Not too many. I don't know.
I can't think of one.
Right.
I don't think Magic Johnson, when he had all of his movie theaters, I don't think he had a white spokesman for his business. I don't see that. I don't think LeBron James has a spokesman for any of his stuff.
Right.
You don't see Tyler Perry having a white person for the head of it, like the face of his studios. So this idea that people want to say, well, you know, they like black women that are good looking become models. They do. They're on magazines.
Right.
Black people in the United States are only 13% of the population. Only about 6% of those, 6 to 7% of those are women that are of age to be models. So you're not going to have a crazy amount of women being models because being a model is 1% of women. 1%. So if you have only 6% of black women in America, and only, let's say, 3% of those women or 5% of those women are of age to be a model, how are you going to have a crazy amount of beautiful black women that are models if models are the top 1% of women? Like, nobody is making black women look ugly, but women are so focused on seeing a picture of themselves. Like, men don't care. Men don't give a fuck if there's not a white dude on a movie or a black dude in a movie. Like, we don't give a fucks.
I just think a lot of stuff comes from predictive programming and just a bunch of brainwashing, and it's a bunch of manipulation tactics, in my opinion. I mean, it's all just it's just stupid to me, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
more and more black men would get with, like, the reason that the statistics are the way they are is because the idea of independent women has ravaged the black community. And if you look at the white community, it's doing the same thing. It's not the heights the black community is, but 40% of all children in the United States are born to single mothers. And since America is 60% or 65% white, that means that a big portion of white women are having babies out of wedlock. So it's happening to all of us. The only difference is men are out here saying that it's the behaviors of women that, like, we don't want to deal with it. And black women are saying, but white women do it too. Or the white man. You black men are pussies because the white man builds stuff.
You know what the thing about it is, in my opinion, and I have been grown around my whole life, I have heard black men keep white men in their mouth. Now, this is just my experience. It don't have to be true for everybody. But I have never went through my day and heard black women just talk about white women like that. We don't care nothing about them like that. Like, this is just online. But mostly I've heard black men talk about the white man keeping them down all the time. I've heard this literally in my family, from the black men in my family. I've heard this mostly complaints from black men. But we could care less about what a white woman doing. We couldn't care less. I don't go through my day worried about what a white woman doing. I just never thought like that until I got online and seen it differently on YouTube. I didn't even know people thought like this until I got on YouTube. I didn't. It just brought up a whole different scale of thinking. I didn't think people were this messed up. I said, it's really people who think like this?
Yes.
Wow.
What's up, man? Tomorrow?
Yeah, I just want to wait till she finishes and get all the way off panel before I speak.
Okay, all right. I'll talk to y'all later.
Later.
All right.
Thank you for coming on. It was good to talk to you.
All right.
Subscribe. Follow me. Watch my videos. Like them. Comment. Share. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
What's up, man? Tomorrow?
Hey, what's going on, man? It's been a while, man.
What's up, MOT?
Not much more. What's going on, man?
Chilling.
It's just that it's better off if you talk to her. You get far better and further with her than we would with the same words. And she
Facts. She would have never come up on the panel if you was black,
no.
bro.
Of course.
Hell no.
I'm not saying that that's not true. I suspect it, but my melanin doesn't allow me to make certain statements out loud.
Yeah. I mean, but you have to realize that this is what happens when you live within the culture of. I mean, what you have is acculturated sociopaths where they don't have to take the responsibility of anything, where they don't have to answer certain questions unless it's a certain person asking the question. That's what you're dealing with. I mean, that's just the way this stuff is, man. So that's why I just waited in the background or just tried to wait till she get all the way up the panel so that way I could be able to speak. Because I know how these things work. I used to be in law enforcement, so I used to see the same exact women, sit here and cry it up in court while they turn around and snitch on their own dude. Same people who claim like they don't understand how things work. Nah, dude, they understand how it works quite well. I mean, it's been working for them. So I mean, I'm just saying that. No diss to her, but she understands what's going on in this actual situation, and it's a lived experience. Being around a bunch of neglected fucking men that she gets infinitely pleased by, that she don't have to work for. I mean, what do you think that does to a person after a while? It fucks their head up. And
So,
that's, it's
two life.
so this
I
is
got
what
two
you
life
gonna be able to see.
experiences. I got two life experiences about this. So, in 2012, I got indicted, seeking indictment for aggravated trafficking. They kicked in my door in March. They pulled me over, and my white girlfriend took 3 felony charges because she didn't have a record. And I just got indicted at the end of 2012, and I would have been hit with elevated charges. So I've been looking at like fucking double-digit years if into the 20s. So she took those charges that I didn't get locked up for a long ass time. Flip it, I'm down in child support with my son's mom, and there was a black woman there acting a fucking fool, talking about how they'll never get rid of her because she's got a gang of kids and she'll always be on child support, and they can't kick her out, and that she told the cop that he was a pussy and he took her knife the last time she came in, and fuck him and fuck you, and I'm gonna go get in my motherfucking Audi, acting ghetto fabulous about the child support payments she was getting. So like, in my experience, I have seen what you're saying. Like, I've seen it.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it doesn't bother me because I come in because I'm black pill, black guy version of black pill. I come in with an understanding beforehand of what I'm dealing with. So I don't judge her. I just know why she's saying it. She's trying to protect something. She's trying to protect the brand of something that she's a part of. And I understand that. Yeah, I understand how, it's never going to be able to happen unless a certain type of person is questioning it. Now, when you're questioning a certain type of person in any type of law enforcement capacity, you have to be able to choose the person who's going to be able to respond well to the actual person who's actually speaking. There is a certain time where you want a disrespectful person on the other end to antagonize the person in order to get a certain type of result out of the person who's questioning, and then the person who's not that person can come in and question the person afterwards, right? And this is all this is, just a long drawn out version of what I've learned within the military and law enforcement. So it's good to have these conversations because I can guarantee you, if I were to bring you on to have these conversations with these women, you would get nothing but Kevin Samuels level responses without you being as vindictive toward the women. You would get their actual heart and soul bared to you because of what you look like.
Oh, bro, I get talked about how white I am all the time. I know.
No. I'm talking about, but from the women, she shared a level of honesty with you that she wouldn't share with somebody like me. Yeah, I mean, people have to pretend
She
they
would have
have
never
game.
admitted she's in therapy on here if
Of
me
course
asking
not.
her. She would never admit that to me. It's because she's on here. Yeah.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is that I can see it. and I understand it, and I understand why it happens. And it's not that I'm mad at her or anything like that. But however you can get the truth in this fucking story out here is however you can get the truth in the story out here. So that's where I'm at with it. And it's just that you have to realize that most of these people are going to be dishonest about the shit given the certain context to which they're speaking. I mean, what she gave was a whole lot of truth, right? But she would never give the truth if the actual person was just a little bit different. She would never say any of this shit. Because there has to be an underlying level of psychological respect before a person will open up to you like that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just a friendly looking guy.
What's that?
I said I'm just a friendly looking guy. You know, I just have one of those faces like Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Man, that's where we at, man. And that's why I fall through. You know.
Oh no, you're good, man. So were you over in the you were over in Jessica X's
Oh no! I don't go
stream?
over there. No. I don't go over there.
So what this stream was about is we were over in Jessica X's stream, and I was trolling. I was trolling super hard, like trolling ridiculously hard. And that woman, I really got under her skin. So that's why she came over to my stream to come on, because I triggered the shit out of her.
I like Jessica though. I mean, like, what Jessica is to like black people within this space, I mean, it's kryptonite to most women within Black America, because she has all the attributes. I'm just purely talking from the actual conversational tone about the culture. It's just that she can tell the truth about the shit that they will never even come close to actually telling, because to them, they're running a big game and a big scam on black men. And to have a woman who's here doing counter to what they're actually doing, they want to fucking like get this woman off the planet. You know, if she was in the United States, clearly one of these women would have ran up on her ass by now.
So I find it funny. There we go. So I find this is what I find funny. So anytime that we're in Jessica's channel and people start talking shit about white people, I just find it funny that Jessica's mixed and people still talk shit about white people. So like that just makes me laugh. But Mellow Bunny. So why do you support the content creator that Jessica was talking about, or that idea that they're teaching? Let's get a woman's perspective.
I don't follow her from because I do have morals. I'm not gonna be with a dude for money and stuff, but I definitely just, if you ever tune in on her live and just listen to what she has to say, she's telling women don't.
Creator is this?
This is Shira7.
Woo! I love that woman.
Yes,
she is one of the best people on YouTube to listen to, and the fact that she is on YouTube,
and MOC, I know exactly why you're saying that.
She is one of the best representatives of Black American culture on YouTube, and her channel is actually being further promoted through the algorithm. By the way, it's not being censored at all. So it's like, I like her because she is such a representation of what all old bitches think. All women who, yes, and guess what?
What up?
There is no movement to take her ass off YouTube. There's a reason why she has 6.7 thousand views within an actual 3-hour time period.
I mean, but she's saying real stuff. I mean, she's hidden context.
She didn't even listen to anything I just said.
Real stuff.
Oh my god!
What?
She's
what
saying real. I disagree.
She says real stuff.
Yes,
Okay. Let me rephrase it. Anybody who agree with Shira 7 is a fucking sociopath and should be in a straitjacket. They should not be
Oh, God.
allowed anywhere
Oh, God.
near
That
men.
see,
If you hold on, Smooth. Listen,
I got you.
there is no way you can say you agree with anything that Shira 7 says, and you not clearly have some type of psychological issue.
Oh my
Because
god.
I can guarantee you, if Shira 7 were to do any of this shit to your son, you would get exactly what I'm saying. But since you're trying to benefit off the shit that Shira 7 is actually saying, you don't see no problem with it.
Well, I don't agree with like that. Like I definitely cherry pick what I listen to. I don't have like
Okay.
my morals
Yeah, I
don't
got-
fit
Okay.
using dudes
Oh,
for
okay.
money.
So we're talking about morals again with Shira 7, right?
I got a question
Right.
for you.
I understand.
Noah.
Huh?
I got a question for you. If I told you that I grape women, would you follow my channel?
No.
Why? You can't take the good parts and leave the bad parts of me graping women?
Right, because grape is
I-
just not okay.
Well, women can't physically overtake men, so they have to manipulate and put sleeping pills in their food. So
Shira never says
she's-
that.
What
She's-
what? Do you
she's
know
a-
who you're
Shira
listening
never
to?
said put sleeping pills. She never said
she's
that.
What?
she's effectively graping men, but because she doesn't have the physical power, she's using manipulation. The fact that I don't need to manipulate you means I can just take it. So it's the same thing. It's just I'm better at strength. Women are better with words and manipulation. It's the same logic.
Well, I mean, but she said some good things though. Like you gotta like.
Okay.
y'all
Tell me.
even, like, listen to her
Okay.
live.
You listen to her. Could you tell me about the
Oh
good things
my
that she said?
God.
No,
Okay, I
Smooth.
Can't make
Let
this
her
up.
let her answer. What
Okay.
are some of the good things that Shira 7 say?
She be like, don't like walk outside with bonnets on. She be telling women like to carry themselves with respect. Like don't be out here looking like a hooker. She just be like, she be saying don't like go with the trends. You know, don't date dudes that's not bringing value to you. Not even just like for money, but like low level people. Keep
Okay.
them out.
So
your life.
okay, let's stop right there. Why? Okay, after she gives that type of advice, what type of advice she gives after she says something like that?
Okay, sprinkle. Well, yeah.
No.
After she says that, her agenda is dealing with men for money, mostly old men. Like when that lady came here, she was like,
Okay, so you know
let's go
exactly
old
what you're
dudes.
listening to. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, but
So you know exactly what you're listening to and why. So you're filtering out the good parts is don't be around being this type of woman, but you like the parts where you get to get shit out of men. Because that's what she's there for. That's the market she's going toward. And if you listen to all the women in the chat, they're asking specific questions about how to screw over men, about how do I get my kids taken care of, how do I act and be more submissive. There ain't no way that you're listening to this shit and not looking at the comment section. I think she deserves an award for how honest she is, and I think that there should be a gang of legislation based on everything that she talks about in this society, based on the things that go on her show. Like if a woman does some shit like that to a man, she should be locked away forever. She lie on a man for any reason, she'd be locked away forever. She tried to use her kids as a fucking object of distress for a man, she should be locked away forever.
Question. So if I was to make a channel that told women not to wear bonnets, to wash their pussy, and to be polite, but I smack the fuck out of women when they talk back, would you be like, well, he does say some good stuff. He does teach women how to act. And you could definitely say that because when they talk back, I smack the fuck out of them so they know not to do that, right? Would you still watch? If I made YouTube channels on how to control your woman and smack the fuck out of her so she don't talk back, and I told you not to wear bonnets and wash your pussy and make sure your toes are taken, you get your nails done, and to be feminine, would you be like, yeah, that's solid advice? This dude knows what he's talking about.
That's like it's a weird comparison because like he's not doing that. She's not hitting anybody. She's not really hurting
No,
anybody.
Oh,
What's
she's
going on?
not hurting anybody. Her
No,
intention
she's
is not
not.
to hurt or harm. Really?
She's
I'm
not
listening to
physically
you.
hurt.
Like,
She's not
she's not
physically
hurting
hurting people.
anybody.
Yes, she is actually.
What?
She is.
Well, wait. Before you go forward, as you can see, she doesn't consider it harm what she's doing because she's benefiting from the actual result of what she's teaching. And since the actual society has taught that this stuff is actually okay, that's why she don't see it as harm.
So, question. So, I got a question for you. So, if you tell a man to wear a condom and he tells you he put one on and he has sex with you, do you consider that to be rape? Or do you consider him just to be manipulating to get what he wants?
The silence is golden, yo.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you. No.
I said, I can hear you. I said, I'll repeat it. So if a man is talking to you and you want to have sex with him and you tell him to put on a condom and he says, okay, I did, and then he doesn't and he fucks you raw and busts his load all up in you, do you consider that to be rape or do you consider that him manipulating to get what he wants to benefit him?
He lied.
I can tell you.
Like
Okay, so I got a question.
lied, and that would be rape because I didn't.
So you're not lying to manipulate men out of money and shit. You're not lying. That's not the same thing.
No, I like.
If you tell you that you can't have morals, you can't have morals and say that she gives women good advice on how to manipulate old men to get shit for herself, but then turn around and say, dude lied to you to get pussy. And you're like, well, he lied. But you're like, well, that's not lying to get money from old men. It's the same shit. The only thing of it is you're benefiting from one and getting hurt from the other.
Yeah, I mean, it's not always about getting men.
It is.
Her channel is all about getting men
Getting
to do
men.
specific things for her. It's not about getting a husband. Even though she claims to be married, she's there for one specific thing. She serves a very specific demographic.
This stuff is breaking up.
Oh no, we can hear you just fine. It's a lack of response that's the actual issue. However, I'm like, what we're talking about here is like, Shira 7, like she operates from the totally sociopathic mind state. Like I had clinical psychologists listen to her and be like, this woman is fucking dangerous. And I'm like, this woman is the most awesome woman on fucking YouTube. The most. If I could share her videos without losing the respect of my fucking audience, I absolutely would.
Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not advocating for men to do any of these things.
But
it's just disingenuous to say, oh, well, if you do this and do that to benefit yourself, that's good. But when men do the same thing, you're like, oh, well, that's different. No, it's not, because you can't physically whoop my ass and take it from me. So of course you're not going to physically try to whoop my ass and take it, but I can physically whoop your ass and take it.
You know what, Savage Ray Recovery, man, we ought to team up more often.
Like that's the thing. Women are better with words. That's why most women can spell and they can spell, and they can usually read a lot quicker and faster than men can, because women are more social. Language comes much easier to women.
And they mature a hell of a lot faster than men do because of the environments that they're in. Trust me.
Yeah, like, so at the end of the day, like, women manipulating a line, that is their strength. They're the social part of of the two of us. We are the physical. So we are able to we are able to conquer things with our physical strength a lot easier. That's why they say you shouldn't hit women, because you're stronger than them. They're the weaker vessel. But they don't say.
Did you hear when Solo TV 84 called in the Shira 7 show? Did you hear that?
No.
I will email you that.
Mellow Bunny wants to know who's worse, Chrissy or Sierra.
I think Shira 7 is the greatest woman ever in American history. I don't think any woman that you would ever name that would be better than Shira 7. She's so good. She's so fucking good. Because it encapsulates what happens when you pair no responsibility with the intent of doing abject harm on a daily basis. And nobody see that it's a fucking problem. It's kind of like having like Warren Jeffs up there talking about, child rape. Like it's that good having somebody who's that dedicated to their actual craft that they're willing to tell it in front of an entire audience and not see anything wrong with it. I don't think you can get a better representation of an associated of an acculturated sociopath anywhere within America. Like I think like Shira 7 is like the female version of like Charles Manson.
So at the end of the day, like this is like the game that women are playing is the game they're playing with fire.
Yes,
like,
they are.
They're definitely Horus flying towards the sun. Like they're gonna get burned, because if you are cooperative and you treat your man well, if you actually have the qualities of being a wife, and you find a decent man, not like a decent dude makes 50, 60 grand a year, 40 grand a year, a decent man, and you are that support with him and you treat him good, he's going to bust his ass to provide for that household and for his children. It is innate in men that we have that drive to provide. But by you trying to game the system and get a bunch of fuck money, you're ruining that dynamic, and you're gonna get good shit soon, but you're gonna end up holding a fucking beat out bag with nothing to show for it, and you're gonna be miserable. And then, yeah,
like this is what she knows. Shira 7 talked about how she sold pics of her feet, of her cooch, of her everything to random ass fucking dudes. We're talking about the same fucking person here, right? We're not talking about different people. We're talking about the same acculturated fucking sociopath who does not give a fuck about who she hurts. As long as she benefits at the end of the day, that's what she's about. And it's not about what she's saying. It's about people looking up to this type of person while having kids. Because she would never say this if you wasn't on the panel. She would just get off the panel immediately or never join if it wasn't you actually asking the questions while being here. Most of these people who engage in this shit, they've engaged in it so long that they only stay within these environments so that way they can keep doing the shit. Like they don't move to different environments. They stay within these environments because they know other women are socializing men, so that way they could be easy picking for women like Shira 7.
Well, so I just want to put this out there. So at the end of the day, like what's really happening is these women are getting bad advice. Like right now, I don't take my kids around just any woman. I don't do that. When I'm around a woman, I and like I'm dating a woman and I'm around my kids, I don't have sex around my kids. Like if I have my kids at the house, I will not be having sex with a woman with my kids. Like I don't do that. I don't respect a woman. Like it's not that I don't respect a woman, but I'm not going to take you seriously. Like if you're selling your ass and your tits and you're doing OnlyFans and you're selling feet pics, if you're whoring yourself out to random dudes, I'm not going to date you or take you seriously because these dudes are paying you $5 or $10 to get photos of your vagina. Why would I value you any more than $5 or $10? Like that's
And most of these
true.
women are not even taking a picture, man. Like most of these women are like copying and pasting shit online from porn sites and sending that shit to dudes. Like a lot of these women are not even who they say they are online. But since the actual environment has been set up specifically, so men can be starved for things that are very basic, and for women to offer things that are very basic and to be overvalued for it, that's the type of environment that you have here. And the only thing you have to do is listen to the average woman within an environment where that culture is fucking normal to see how fucked up it is. Like the Kevin Samuels video chick. This woman is come on, dude. She's a 6 at best. When she was done up, she was a 6. Before that, she was like a 4. But I could tell you, most men within the black manosphere would still date that fucking woman.
Well, like here's the other thing.
Yeah, either.
Like here's the other thing. At the end of the day, like don't get me wrong, I'm MGTOW for the most part. Like I don't really fuck. Like I'll fuck chicks and date chicks, but I'm not living with chicks. I'm not like if I get married, it's not because I feel that marriage is some great thing for me, but I do think that marriage is important for my children. I know that there's no benefit for me as a man. There's only benefit through my children because I have 2 kids, and I know that both my kids they're gonna be in broken homes if I don't get married because both of their moms, I don't see them getting married. So the best way for me to do what's best for my kids is to have a stable household, even if it's at my own expense.
Yeah.
But I'm also not in the exact same place. Most of the guys in the manosphere don't have kids. So like I totally get their whole don't get married. I agree with it. Marriage is a shitty deal. But I'm not going to want to marry a broad that thinks that these things are good. Because at the end of the day, these women are getting what they think they want now, but they're one, ruining the minds of the generations below them, and 2, the generations that they're in. Even if my sister's married, if some dude got played by a chick that was on listening to this bullshit, and that dude ran into my sister, what do you think the likelihood of that man taking my sister seriously is going to be?
And that's why I say dating coaches are far more dangerous than Shira 7 because they will get done wrong by the Shira 7 women who listen to Shira 7. And then they'll turn around and try to overcompensate by doing the same shit that the dating coaches teach men to do, and then they actually run into your sister who don't have that fucking culture. What's going to happen after your fucking sister, after they meet these type of people? Your sister is going to run into a woman like Shira 7 to actually fix her actual pain, while men are running to dating coaches to fix their pain. So it's a cyclic system that is never going to change overall on each side unless you deal with different people overall. Like me, I broke the cycle. Grew up in Mississippi, tons of fucking bullshit and fuck shit going on out there. As soon as I left, I didn't fuck with any of the people who I was dealing with while I was there. Went to a different country, had a different culture of people to deal with, had a better outcome. Came back to the States, did I come back to the American culture of outcome? No. Kept the outcome that I fucking had. And it's hard for people to do because that's what they're most likely are actually going after? Is there a certain result that they think is rare? Like being with a woman who actually care about you is not fucking rare. It's an expectation. But if you're raised within an environment where the actual respect of women is fucking rare and bowing down to her and doing everything that she wants is fucking normal, that's what turns you into one of these type of dudes. And if one of these women are actually judged on the actual men that she can actually attract specifically for resources without giving a shit about what they want in return, that's, you see, this is the type of thing that's going on both sides. Both of these things are going on simultaneously.
So, like, fun fact. So I've been seeing this girl for a month, and I went to school with this girl. And like back then, back in school, I was working through some shit, and I was fucked up, and I knew I was fucked up, and I never approached this girl. I never flirted with this girl. Because I knew I was fucked up. And it wasn't until I got sober and I got my shit together that I started hitting her up, seeing how she was doing. And I've been seeing this girl for like a month. I haven't tried to have sex with her. I haven't come at her crazy. Normally, I'm just bagging and tagging. Like, I'm bagging and tagging. But this girl, I actually like. There's actually good qualities of this woman. Most of the women that I have come across don't have these qualities, and they get bagged and tagged and left. And like, this is a woman that I definitely could see there being a future with. But do you know what she's not trying to do? Tell me, like, she's not trying to run me. She's not asking me for nothing. She just wants to see me. That's legitly, that's all she's asking for. It's just to see me. But with these women that are out here teaching this bullshit to these other women, they're ruining stuff for their sisters. This stuff saying
they're doing it on purpose, though, dude. They're doing it on purpose.
I know.
So that way they could be able to codify their own existence within the environment. And like, most women can't think that far down the road to understand why an older woman would do that to younger women until they get to be in her position and then they understand the shit. Because they think on short-term things. And like culture, like the way that you're cultured, like the household environment that you're brought up in, like there's two things that would create a person that you're actually dealing with. From what I've seen in my experience. One, the shit is normal to you to grow up in that type of environment where you vet people. That's the first way. The second way is that you had nothing but the view and the sight of messed up circumstances, so you overcompensate by not engaging in everything else that everybody have seen within their lives, and that's how you overcompensate by already knowing up front what you don't want to deal with. And those are the two things that would create that type of environment, from my experience.
Well, so this is the crazy thing. All right, so in my family, my grandmother and my grandfather got married, had my mom, got divorced. My grandmother remarried another man. They've been married since 67 or 77, or I think 67 or 77, something like that. They've been married since then. Still married. My mom divorced my father when I was 7, remarried, has been married for 20 years now. My sister, she married her husband, and they've been married for like 6-7 years now. My aunt, she married my uncle, and my uncle is he's I think like 9 years older than her, 7 years older than her, and they've been married since like 15 years or 16 years or something. So all of the people around me have been married or divorced and been married, and they have long relationships. Like my dad, though, was married 5 times, and his last marriage was like 12 or 15 years until he died. So like all the people around me are married, but I really haven't like I haven't come across any women that like if I would have married them, it would have worked out in my past. Like I
Correct.
haven't.
The same here.
Like so like my sister being married, like they just built a house down near Akron. You know, they built this 3,500 square foot house. When they end up getting their basement finished, the house is going to be 5,500 square feet. They adopted 4 kids. They have a baby on the way. They have this huge, beautiful house. My sister's a stay-at-home mom. They have a good life. Then you look at my life, and my life is not any of that. A, from my own doing, and B, from my own doing. So like someone's doing something right. Like my mom and my stepdad just bought their first house this year. Like they just moved into it the week before Thanksgiving. My grandparents have been living in their house since like 67 or 77 or something. And all the people around me are married and they seem to be happy. But I'm on YouTube and I'm in the dating world and I see a bunch of angry, miserable women, white,
Yes, you
black,
do.
purple, and pink. And like, so clearly something out here is working for some people, and it doesn't seem to be any of the advice these women are giving people.
No, like they're giving miserable bitch advice. Like that's what's happening. Like they're giving them the advice to where they would need to. They're giving them advice to give away all their value for paltry sums of gains. Like, like, like once you turn from a cultured person to an uncultured person, and I'm talking about from the difference of actually viewing a person as how you're supposed to view them to just viewing a person specifically for resources and otherwise, just a means to an end. Like it doesn't matter, I'm gonna get 30 more like what I get, rather than noticing the value and knowing the value of productive man when you actually meet him. Like that's what you're doing with here. And like, dude, I can sniff him out a mile away. I'm this good at it. That there's no person who can listen to that shit of Shira Seven and say that some of the shit that she give is good, and then you just ask them what, and then you ask the opposite question. If a man did that, like, oh no, that would be wrong, because see, they can't think like that because to them, as long as they can benefit, it's right, and they can't see a world for themselves where you can't do the shit that they can do within the same environment. So it's like, how could you possibly talk to people about how to move forward when they don't have the culture for it? And it's not like they bought the culture through the abuse that they ran their own body to. Right? Like a woman can't say all of a sudden in her 30s to Kevin Samuels lady. Because if you watch the whole interview, she had no respect for that. The only reason why she bared her whole heart to that guy was the fact that she thought she was going to get something out of him that she couldn't attract. She had no experience with guys who made that type of money. But since she's so attracted to image and not substance, she went to a guy who could not give her that. But she was there not understanding until way later that this wasn't the guy she should be talking to. Way later.
What
Yeah.
I agree with everything Kevin Samuel said. And
No.
but-
I agree with everything that he said too. But it's the fact that she went to a person, tried to get a consultation for free, and she got a fucking dose of reality on his watch that she would have got behind the scenes. Because I don't think Kevin Samuels is lying to these women behind the scenes. The only thing that's different is he has to present himself as being ultra realistic because these women have to improve somewhat. And I can guarantee you, if you look at that first interview that he did, and if you look at that second interview where she did with that lighter skinned black woman, she changed something. She presented something better. Her mind wasn't different, but at least she presented better. Like the same non-self reflection, not being able to not being able to fucking rate herself. All that shit was still there, but at least she looked a hell of a lot better than what she did on Kevin Samuels' show, and trying to get some shit for free, and trying to get some man that she's not fucking worth. Because I can tell you, she was gonna fuck any man up that she fucking met, then or now. She was gonna fuck him up. And most women who wait this long to get basic shit that they should have been taught years ago, they're never going to fucking appreciate it.
So I agree with everything Kevin Samuels said, and I also
Me
agree.
too. Me too.
I disagree with everything that woman did, but what makes me this is
I know why she did it. I understand why she did it.
I get it,
Oh yeah.
and I know why she went and did that second interview and tried to play victim.
Correct.
But so, whenever I date women, the first thing women tell me is they love a hardworking man. All right. And do you know what we end up fighting about?
Money. Or time spent away from her, not focused on her.
Correct. That I work too much. Like when
Correct.
we meet, it's cool. I work all the time, but then a year in, 6 months in, 3 months in, I work too much. But nothing changed about me. I'm still the same dude. I'm still working to get it. Like I'm still hustling, trying to get somewhere else.
Yeah, but what you're looking at here is that they don't understand that they like the results of a hardworking man. They don't like the image of a hardworking man. They like the results. They have no appreciation for the input in the process. Because most of these women, if they're over a 5, in this society and culture, 100 motherfuckers in their inbox every fucking day, have dating profiles on every fucking dating app. They're fucking the entire planet, even though they want to claim that they're fucking single. None of these women are fucking single. None of them. If I were to drop you off in a fucking country like Ukraine, where the women are severely above average looking compared to the women here in the United States, and you can have access to anything that you want, basically because you're an American guy, white or black, it would be impossible to think that you can be able to sell on something because everybody wants this particular set of circumstances that you come from. So all you have to do is reverse that and think about women in the same actual circumstance. Like a lot of women don't want to think of it that way because it undresses them in a way that they can't respond to. But see, I'm a black pill guy. I'm going to look at this shit from a true perspective. I know what they think, and I know why they think it, and I understand and accept why they think it. I'm not trying to change the actual circumstance to where we are on the ground floor where we are. I'm not trying to change that. I'm trying to understand the process in total so that way I could understand value and non-value within the same environment. That's why understanding and accepting is better than understanding, capitulating, and pretty much bowing down the pussy. It don't get you shit. It don't get you a motherfucking thing. It gets you access so long as you bow yourself below her actual goals and rationale at that particular point in time. She knows she's being lied to. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You're supposed to be above anything that she should be able to offer unless you meet someone who presents far differently, like what you've met.
So my comment just got rejected. And do you know what? Do you want to know what my comment said?
What's that?
So Blake said, "I don't know Big Spoon. That must be Cleveland lingo. I'm lost." So I said, "When we spoon, my mushroom tip to your buttocks when we sleep. YouTube blocked that. Why would fucking YouTube block that? That wasn't even like explicit. But
No, it's machine learning. They're getting better and better at blocking things that they don't want said on YouTube. That's why I use certain words when I be able to talk, because they won't be able to get to that within a year or so. But you have to realize and understand that that's what's going on here. It's just that a lot of people feel dressed down because of what I'm saying. But it's nothing but the actual reality of the things that are going on within the environment that I'm actually talking about. And actually protecting yourself from such actions and activity can be considered hate speech to other people. Because at the end of the day, they don't want you to be protected from the things that could actually happen to you within this environment. They want you to be free form fed into it as an actual normalcy within the actual environment. So that's why I look at things the way I look at them and everything else. Because I'm not going to lie. It's just that I know what these women are going to say. I know what they're going to be able to protect. I know what they're going to be able to bear their heart in front of. I already know it. It's like a simulation at this point. I already know what the fuck I'm going to look at. I already know when they're going to fake like they can't hear anybody. I already know when they're going to drop off panels. I already know. As soon as the actual conversation falls down a specific set of path, yeah, all of a sudden nobody can hear each other. And it magically has to be around the fact where they have to answer specific questions. When they could just turn over, dial a number, get a guy to pound them out without even answering any type of question. Because most dudes in this environment will mortgage their whole masculinity for a piece. And as long as they know that they got those type of guys, what the hell she look like being on a panel with guys like me? Where she could just call up 13 guys who give her exactly what she wants. It comes down to options, dude.
so, Blake, two things. I don't know why you don't spoon, because I always sleep better when I have a titty in my hand. Two, you said men have typical pitfalls just like women. It doesn't really help to concentrate on women's all the time. Men need to be introspective. You're right, but men are more introspective than women.
All right, okay.
We have all sorts of media, Blake,
Yeah.
that project men as being the bad, and women are great. So you need to level that out. Like, the narrative needs to be leveled out. So there are plenty of pitfalls, but like even in my own story, Blake, I just told you that there was a woman that I'm talking to, that I went to school with, and I knew that I was fucked up. So I never even approached this woman. I never even hit her up until after I got my life together and I wasn't a piece of shit anymore. So
Yes.
like a lot of men are introspective. Women
Yes. But let me stop you right there. Too much introspection could lead to a term called rumination. You know what that means?
I do not.
I need you to Google it right now.
I will Google it. You said it's what?
Rumination.
Womanation?
Rumination.
You said RMNTION?
Wait, hold on a second. Let me look at the actual thing.
Because
I'll type it in the chat.
I am dyslexic, so when you spell things to me, it does not work out in my mind. Okay. Okay, so a deep or considered thought about something, the action of chewing the cud.
Correct. I need you to go to the Wikipedia version of it.
Okay. All right. So rumination is a focused attention on the symptoms of one's distress, and it is on its purpose causes
All right, go down to pathology.
pathology.
Start reading there. First paragraph.
Extensive research on the effects of rumination or the tendency to self-reflect shows the negative form of rumination associated with dysteria interferes with people's ability to focus on problem solving and results in dwelling on negative thoughts about past failures. Evidence from studies suggests that negative implications of ruminations are due to cognitive biases such as memory and attention biases, which
Predisposed.
predispose ruminators to selectively devote attention to negative stimuli.
Stop right there. Stop right there.
Okay.
That's the difference between self-reflecting and actual rumination. So when dating coaches are actually trying to get you to focus on things, they're using rumination to get you to self-reflect rather than actual self-reflection to self-reflect. Because it's the same term, it's just used differently. One is a positive thing and one is a negative thing. This is why they want to tell you about how you got failure over things in the environment that you don't have any control over. They want you to ruminate about those things and overcompensate with it with their actual information within the environment. And then find themselves given the same bullshit information from the actual fact of the standpoint to where they are actually getting you to negatively reflect on things and respond to them in a positive light rather than to positively respond to things in a positive light. It's kind of like a cake. If you have molded eggs, molded yeast, molded flour, molded sugar, you're going to get an incomplete cake that's going to be poisonous to the person who actually eats it. So they're giving you the correct information, but they're adding things to the actual equation that don't need to be there from a negative standpoint that's going to lead you to a negative result.
So is it weird? Like, do you find it weird that Courtney came on here and she was very polite to me?
No, I don't.
And do you really think that's just because I'm white?
No, I think it because she responds differently to what she sees.
In what way?
She would never be able to have this conversation with Smooth alone. Not hearing Smooth's voice for the first time. Because most women run away at the moment of self-reflection, as we just proved twice. Honest self-reflection about the actual environment and what they're trying to present within the environment. I know how to ask these questions because I'm trained to do so. But to them, it's the most savage thing that they ever, well, given the name of the podcast. This is the worst thing they can ever be is a person who knows their playbook before they actually say any words. I knew what she was going to say. I know. No person who says that Shira 7 gives good advice can actually tell you what she give is good. And as soon as you came in with actually telling her like, oh, this shit ain't good for these actual reasons, but she was like, well, I benefit. That's why it's good for me. But see, since I already know all that in advance, and I set the question up for you to be able to just come after me and be able to answer the same type of question I'm asking, but just using different terminology and less wording. All you heard was silence. She understood what we said in both terms. She understood.
So fun thing. So I actually have a very innate ability to read people, like very well, from being a street dude and from being around a predator for a long period of time. I learned how to read people. So obviously I do know like women tactics. I've been dating women my whole life. So like,
yeah.
I know how they're going to act, but I also know how to manipulate a situation. And it is like the fact that I'm white kind of disarms their argument because they can't come with the
Yeah, you can't do that.
they can't do the well, you just hate black women because you're a black man stuff.
Correct. The typical things that they normally come with.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what it is, man. Like it's really not that hard, but see, they don't they think that less of men that it's not possible for us to figure this out. You have to understand, dude, if they have a success rate of nearly 98% when they run into men, 98%, it's that high. It's such a low probability that they run into men who actually know how they actually think, feel, and react to certain stimuli. That's a very low percentage. Extremely low. That's why the silence is always golden, because I know you got it when you got the silence going.
Oh, yeah. As soon as a woman has nothing to say, you've won the argument. Or when they say whatever.
Yeah.
So,
whatever they focus on some other part of the conversation, they didn't mean as much as their silence toward the question that you asked.
They deflect a lot. So, Blake, before you came on, I was on a live stream with Jessica X and her chat, and a girl named Courtney was on the panel talking crazy, and I was trolling her in the comment section, and I made her really triggered to the point where she went up 2 times on the panel, and I triggered her, and she had to come back up for a 3rd time and call me out, saying, I don't know who this MGK lookalike motherfucker is. And then I went live, and she came over here and started talking to me, and I politely disengaged her ire.
That's what I like about Jessica is that she will have the conversation. Most women won't, but she will have the conversation, and that's what I like the most about her. Is whether right or wrong, no matter what you think, she will come here and have the conversation. Even if she's losing the conversation, she has enough conviction in what she thinks and believes to have the conversation. And that's very unnatural for a woman to do. I don't know whether she realized it or not. It's very unnatural for a woman to talk about her openly about how right she is. Very unnatural. However, when you compare it to the women in the actual environment, it's above average. This is why I don't look at it as shit, because that's how you're supposed to be thinking in the first place. Thinking or acting in the first place.
So when's the next time that you're going live?
Tomorrow night we're going to talk about the because I'm doing politics now, so I'm going to be talking about the Electoral College Act of 1887. Because a lot of people think there's something different that happened in the 6th of January, but I have to let people know that there's a federal law that says that literally can't happen, along with Supreme Court justice decisions and everything. So,
what year was that act?
1887.
You do know that. It can happen, actually.
No. It can definitely happen, but it doesn't mean anything because they turn it from a definite situation to a ceremonial situation.
So unfortunately, what makes this different is those states that are contested. If they're contested, then they can't count the Electoral College of the votes. So if they can't count the Electoral College and neither party has 270, then it goes to a contested election, which is actually in the Constitution, then which goes to the House of Representatives, which the Republicans hold. They hold more seats in the houses of the states. So
correct.
Trump can still win.
No, that it can. What you're looking at is an old model that was supplemented by what I just named. Now, what you're talking about would 100% work if the electoral college count was 267 to 267. Now, if it was 267 to 267, everything that you said is 100% true. However, the way the shit is set up right now, there's no way that could be able to happen. That's what we're talking about tomorrow. We're going to talk about, because there was two elections. There was an election in 1880, an election in 1884 that set up the exact thing that we're actually talking about it being up in the air. But there was a federal law that everybody agreed, well, not everybody agreed on, but it was a law, federal law in 1887 that said that you have to vote in favor of the electors that came down. And actually, Trump actually challenged that actual decision at the beginning of the actual presidential election that actually made it look, that actually enforced it even harder. So that way you couldn't have no confidence electors being selected. They had to actually go with the popular vote of the actual electors within that. So tomorrow we're going to talk about that. The actual history from the 1880s, the fight that happened in the 1880 to 1884, the act in 1887. We're going to go over what happened in Bush v. Gore. Then we're going to go over all of the lawsuits or the lack of evidence being supported by the lawsuits. And Louis Gohmert yesterday filed a lawsuit about trying to get Micah Pence to overturn the election, but all this stuff is merely ceremonial at this point.
It's not.
Okay. All right.
It isn't. But so you think Joe Biden is going to take office?
He will take office.
I'm willing to bet you $100 that he will not take office.
I will bet you $1,000 to your $100 that he will.
I'm not betting $1,000.
No, I said I will bet $1,000 to your $100 that he will.
Okay, so you win, you get 100. You lose,
Yes.
you give me 1,000.
That is correct.
Okay. You guys see it here. We're taking this bet.
Yes. And your fucking state did not do the fucking roads on Christmas Eve or Christmas fucking Day. Took me
You're right.
8 fucking hours to drive from the edge of Youngstown. I stopped at exit 165 at the Loves on I-71. Forgot the name of the city. Took me 2 hours to get from 171 to 270, which was Columbus. And it was pretty much clear roads after I made it past London, Ohio, which was exit 79. They completely abandoned the state. I've never fucking seen that before. I've been driving through there for Christmas for like 5 years. I've never seen them abandon the state like that. That shit was crazy.
They actually, so Cleveland, like the whole Cleveland area they didn't ice or do dick in Cleveland. But if you got,
No, they didn't. Not at all.
If you got down 480 going towards 14, once you got like down towards 14, everything in Portage County was plowed, but not in Cuyahoga. Nothing.
Wow, man! So the whole Cuyahoga County was like that.
Yeah. So I was streaming on Thursday, and my ex-girlfriend, she got stuck out on 422 in Bainbridge. Yeah. She was sitting there from 6 till 9:30 when I left. It took me from leaving my house at 9:30 to driving to get her and driving her to the west side of Cleveland and coming home. I didn't get back till like 2:30 in the morning, 3:30.
Yeah, because it was pretty hard to, I'm telling you, dude, because like going north to south, there's a lot of downhill. And I was going 30 miles an hour in the third lane. Of course, the third lane was a lane that was not even plowed at all. There was people who were like in the first left 2 lanes who was just speeding down the highway. And then they looked at how much of a drop that was. The motherfucker was going all the way off the road into the fucking trees. I didn't even try to stop because, you can't stop like that in the semi. You can't. And a lot of these people was crossing over in front of semis, and semis were going to jackknifes, and I seen like 4 jackknifes on that whole fucking route. because there was cars that was like going, especially like rear wheel drive. Like I seen like 2 Mustangs. What the fuck are you doing out there in the fucking Mustang? So it's like they didn't understand. Well, they got the understanding of it that you can't control the momentum unless you have shit in the trunk. And I can see that they didn't because the way the car was fishtailing this shit. I'm like, oh shit, this motherfucker's in a rear wheel drive car. Yeah, pretty fucked up.
So, Blake, the reason that I went and picked up that woman is because that is the woman that I was with for 7 years of my life that I used with, and she took 3 felony charges so that I didn't go to prison.
Damn.
And we are mutual friends.
Yeah, man, you owe her like a motherfucker though.
Yeah, we don't have sex, but we're still good friends.
Especially in that kind of state, especially when it comes to the drug shit, man, they don't fuck around there, dude. They don't fuck around at all. I know they don't.
So, yeah. So at the end of the day, she was sitting in her car that wasn't running for 3 hours with her dog, and it was cold as fuck.
Yeah, it was, man. See, those bitter cold is like 25 outside. I know that for sure.
Yeah, and she was halfway between Champion, Ohio, and Cleveland, and there was not going to be anyone that was going to be able to come get her. And she'd been waiting hours and hours for a tow truck, and the tow truck, the driver wasn't allowed to take her with him, so she would have been stranded there.
What?
So, yeah, so I would have done,
I know what those about. Like, they don't allow people in the cab of the actual recovery. Yeah, you're right. And you can't ride in the actual vehicle that's being towed either.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, dude. Yeah, so they probably, yeah. I mean, unless the police were out there, the police would have gave her a ride somewhere. But, yeah, man, like, those are the new rules. Because I have a drop yard, west side of Columbus. And, yeah, I had an actual, a person who needed to tow my truck to a shop, and I didn't drive my car out there. And the guy was like, well, we can't put you in the front seat. I'm like, what? Then how the fuck am I going to get to the shop? Like, we got to find your own route. I'm like, why the fuck would I find my own route? I'm like, fuck, the mass policy. They don't let anybody in the fucking front seat or the fucking, or even the back seat of the tow truck. Now, you got to call your own ride out there. Uber or Lyft, whatever. So, yeah. That's the bullshit that's going on right now. I don't think it's going to get better. I think this actual virus is going to make people get more careless, and this shit's going to be spreading all over the place. So, yeah.
So, Blake, the reason that I didn't call her my friend is because I don't have female friends, for one. For two, the only reason that I'm friends with her is because
Why is she a hoe? Because you're good friends with a woman. Like, what's that about?
I think he was being a dick because I usually, I talk. I think he was trying to poke fun at things I've said. I think that's why he said that.
Hey, man, but if somebody done some shit like that for you, yeah, kind of changes the ground here in love.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. It's all right, man. Let me get up out of here, man. It was good talking to you again, dude.
It was good talking to you, man. I will see everyone. I'll see you later, bud. Everyone go follow and check out Man Tomorrow. Check out his channel.
Yeah. And I mean, you been to the channel before? You looking stuff?
I think I was over in your. I think I was in your channel. Right before, like right after you originally joined, you went live, and I went over there and popped in for a little bit.
All right, cool. Hey, different crowd, lots of people. They're adding words that they can't say in the actual chat because I just don't want a certain type of crowd over there anymore. I'm trying to grow up because there's a lot of people using a lot of bullshit over there, and they're not there to have the conversation that I'm having on screen, and I just have to get them the fuck out of there, man. So, that's what it is.
Well, buddy, if I'm online, I catch your live, I'll shoot over. and join your discussion tomorrow.
All right, cool, man.
I'll see
All
you
right,
later.
dude. All right, thanks, man. It was nice talking to you and your actual crew, man. So y'all have a nice one. All right, later.
You too, bud. Later. Okay, guys. I am going to get off here and go to sleep because I got work in the AM. So as always, guys, stay savage.